Alright, this is stalking. More stalking. Not flying over the the Ontario Museum, following where I'm at in a helicopter in engineered light. Where the fake moon is located, not over the museum, but over me at G Street and Fern, the Ontario police stalking from place to place, and this is an absurdly ridiculous exhibition of stalking by police. That this is the closest you're ever going to get to an admission, and this is undeniable evidence. The mere frequency and the mere volume of video evidence of stalking, following me in helicopters and following me in an environment that is irreconcilable. The entity keeping the fake sun during the day and the fake moon at night over me, and the entity doing the same thing in Los Angeles amongst the gang stalkers of the LAPD. This is again Mike Lorenz's criminal conduct, and this is shared with Dominic Choi's criminal conduct and every other law enforcement agency that I documented gang stalking me with helicopters from Las Vegas to Kern County in that specific environment. And this is again flying around in circles, pacing around me everywhere that I go. Psychopaths are stalking in helicopters and pacing around everywhere that they are following me. This is a demonic ritual that they're engaging in. This pacing and engineer light. So let me show you the context regarding where they're doing. Under the fake moon, number one, the fake moon is where I'm at. This ongoing pattern of flying in circles around me, following me from place to place to do that. And they're doing it in engineer light. 1 shadow, 2 shadows, 3 shadows. That's called pacing. They're driving in engineered light. Just like under the fake sun, they're driving in engineered light. And they were stalking by helicopter under the fake sun. They're stalking in helicopter under the fake moon that's remaining over me. And this is my upright shadow on the wall. That's P.O.C. Now I've got 2 of them. And these are my shadows that are still on the ground while the police follow me around. This is gang stalking. It is currently, by the way, 9:55 p.m. This is the disbanding of the Ontario police that engaged in kidnapping on May 29, 2025. They did so pursuant to malicious assertions, not merely false, not merely ridiculous, not merely clearly illogical, while the lies that I documented on podcast and in video are incapable of being maintained as consistent amongst Nathan Morgan and Tracy Banks, probably both high school graduates. I know Tracy Banks is, but very highly unintelligent, while they are monitoring inside of her apartment where the fake sun rises and sets, and where this same police department is documenting gang stalking me at that apartment complex where they engaged in what is kidnapping via criminal defamation in order to engage in an unlawful seizure when they're engaged in criminal surveillance. And the entity is using a spotlight, which is light activity, while they're pacing. The people of the state are engaging gang stalking with them. They're not looking at anything other than me. This is gang stalking, and the entity is pacing in the sky space. And this is a ridiculous and obvious engagement in that pattern of conduct. And you are witnessing the outward demonstration of mental illness by the demons of the Ontario police. This is P.O.C. The demons that sound sirens are engaging in what is criminal summoning. And this is the campaign of the demons who have lost in their satanic bet to sacrifice me. And now you're looking at them destroy themselves because their egos cannot accept reality. But everyone else is looking at the reality. You're looking at dozens and dozens of videos of a police department stalking. This is P.O.C. That's crossing path. Where I have multiple shadows, this is monitoring. Being under a light fixture does not create shadows on the ground, multiple shadows, and also shadows upright. They're monitoring, they're stalking, and so are the people of the state, just like they are when I'm at Starbucks and the Ontario police is doing the same thing, flying in circles while the fake sun is over me at that Starbucks where it remains for over 7 hours. That's not the sun, that's not the natural environment, and neither is this at nightfall. And the demons in the background sounding sirens are engaged in audible activity creation while the Ontario police provide a show. Let me translate this satanic language for you. They're engaging in what is activity while demons monitor, and they participate in the elements by sounding their sirens, which is audible activity, while the people of the state are pacing, they're monitoring together, and that's supposed to be some show of the demons engaging in some sort of communication. It's a communication of a threat while you analyze it. And you're also going to analyze with regard to the diagnosis of mental illness and the prosecution. This particular demon is subject to a mental asylum as opposed to federal prison. This is P.O.C. You're going to see the LAPD engaging in the same thing at Alvarado Gardens, a body of evidence of the entity engaging what is following me around in helicopters and engaging in this pattern of pacing around in circles around me in that environment that is supernatural, because the sun doesn't set at the same place where it rises, and the sun doesn't sit over one building for a series of hours not moving. Okay, like I document at Starbucks, like I document here at Woodside Senior Apartments, like I document at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where they were stalking last night, where the entity is engaging in this. And this engagement in this pattern of conduct is not a show of any sort of force or any sort of authority or any show of what is resistance to what is an inevitable demise that Christ Jesus himself has said is going to be the inevitable fate of the demons of the Ontario Police, who have engaged in killing one too many people. They've engaged in kidnapping one too many people. And now they're going to suffer the consequences for terrorizing American citizens, as I'm documenting their criminal engagement in P.O.C. and the malice, the impunity, the psychotic level of continuously engaging in it when it's clear-cut stalking based on the pattern that is fully established in that environment and that behavioral pattern which is entirely demented in that environment. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:59 p.m. The entity engaging in the P.O.C. upon exit of the Ovid Family Community Library, following me from that location to what is G Street and Fern, and engaging in what is their obsession. This is also showing you how you know they're obsessed with my vagina, because they're monitoring my genitalia in the bathroom as well. This is how heavily the Ontario Police is stalking, and they spend thousands of dollars doing it on a daily basis using helicopters, and the City of Ontario uses airplanes to do it. They're doing it in the specific environment where monitoring is underway. They're doing it with regard to showing the fact that they are indeed sex offenders, and they are, like I've established, they're stalking in helicopters. They're also obsessed with my vagina. They're sex offenders obsessively consumed with my vagina and obsessively consumed with how I describe them in the evidence that's going to be used to prosecute them. But they are seen very clearly as the sex offenders. They're seen very clearly as the psychopaths, mentally ill, pacing around like the delusional psychopaths that they are. Okay, there's no emergency amongst the people of the state. They're gang stalking together. This is P.O.C. This is 325 West G Street. The reason why they're not flying over unit number 51 is because I'm not inside of Tracy Banks' apartment anymore. B. Hook, Nathan Morgan, L. Martinez, and C. Torres, who signed the report that Arrowhead Regional Medical Center relied on to kidnap, they're all going to prison. They're all going to prison. This is P.O.C. Remember, it's happening in Engineer Light. They're driving in Engineer Light. They're monitoring. This is Engineer Light. Two shadows right here. They're stalking, and this is criminal monitoring, which is satanic. It's demonic. That's why they just engaged in that ritual on video with regard to the P.O.C. And my shadows are moving right now while demons are crossing path. That's also not their headlights. They're stalking together. And they just engaged in that satanic pacing, which is no show of authority. Satan is admitting that Satan is fearful, and Satan is admitting that he has lost. By stalking on video like this, that's a concession. And what is a criminal case? This isn't just some practice of witchcraft that they're fully exposed for engaging in. They're going to be prosecuted in the 3D, in real life. But I just want to be clear, this is Satan's mental illness being made manifest. That's a meat suit that's demon-possessed, flying that airplane, stalking me and doing so. This video is 7 minutes and 50 seconds long, and they were engaging in flying in circles in relevant position to me in the specific environment. And that's because Satan is very fearful, and Satan makes very poor decisions with regard to a legal strategy in a federal case, lacking self-control, and it's relevant to the criminal conduct that the Ontario Police has been engaged in for decades. Okay, this is P.O.C. Paul Leon's being removed from office, and Mike LORENZ being removed from position. Michael Gherkin, gang stalking fire department. The demon-possessed Alan D. Wapner, gang stalking International Airport, engaging in that P.O.C. Flying around in circles is the behavior of demons who have been thoroughly defeated. To continuously do so is the delusional psychopaths who have nothing other than a tremendous ego, but they don't even have any basis to have that ego. There's no force or authority or strength shown in stalking. That's P.O.C. All right, pay attention to 1627 West Holt at the San Bernardino TAD office, where the airport is, where they were taken off by the airport. This is not taking off. This is stalking, coming into the sky space amongst amplified audible activity and impossible light activity. The Ontario International Airport, obsessed with my vagina. A demon flying a plane, stalking in the path under the fake moon amongst impossible light. And this is the city of Ontario. This is the government. This is the state of California. That's the P.O.C. And the demon-possessed are engaging in what is monitoring, obsessing over my vagina as a whole population. They're in their homes monitoring while the police are flying in circles and while the airport is pacing over, not taking off from Terminal 2 and Terminal 4. This isn't even close to taking off. You're not taking off over here. You're deviating, flying far away from the airport in order to then engage in what is rising in elevation because you're stalking. And that's why you have perpendicular shadows, while you cross path with the police, while you cross path with the airport where they're stalking, creating amplified audible activity. Black, white, bald, long hair, blonde, auburn, whatever shade they are, they're gang stalking. All right, this is the specific environment, and this is what you're paying attention to. that supernatural character of that environment, where you're looking at what is never naturally occurring. It's impossible for this to naturally occur, where the demons are engaging in what is stalking, following me around from place to place. And they're doing so while they're hostile, because I'm documenting and telling you that they're obsessed with my vagina. They're sex offenders flying around in circles for 10 minutes long because they're obsessively consumed with an ongoing, some sort of idea in their mind that there's some sort of competition. There's no competition with Satan. There's no competition when you're stalking. That's P.O.C. The Ontario Police Department has demonstrated, the City of Ontario has demonstrated that every level of government is corrupt and defiled, and they are to be cleaned out comprehensively, while you're using a police department to engage in criminal surveillance. P.O.C.